three things that can help you with an addiction. So first thing, I call this the domain of the addiction. It's essentially figuring out how does the environment around you look when you're indulging. So whatever it is it the substance addiction or the behavior addiction? Substance, alcohol, drugs, whatever, behavior, pornography, video games, eating, etc. Whatever it is, you have to figure it out. How do you feel? How does the day around you look before you get the urge to indulge or before you spontaneously indulge? Why? Because that thing, knowing that in high detail, will help you prepare, will help you know in advance when is it coming. So an example, it's basically pay attention to what you're feeling when you're doing this. What kind of thoughts do you have? Maybe what kind of people are you? Is it, the start of the day? Is it the evening after work? Is it the morning, in the weekend, whatever it is? Get it in high detail. Second thing is fleshing out how do you feel? What good things do you feel when you're indulging that matter to you? It can be really hard, you can have a lot of thoughts, but there's, the simple method I use that works the best for me always is if there's a lot of things to choose from, to think about. Maybe you feel joy, maybe you feel distraction, maybe you be with people, maybe you're more social, maybe you feel less anxious. There could be a lot of things. So what you can do to figure out which are the most important ones is you write all of them down, how much you can, and then one at a time think about how would your experience look if you took away that thing. So for example, how would your experience in maybe drinking with your friends look if you took away, let's say, not feeling anxiety? So you put anxiety back in there, or you take away the fact that you're able to, be confident or crack jokes and be more social. How does then your experience change if you take away the things that you get while indulging? And you do this with with each thing, and then you compare the outcomes of how bad do they change if you take them away, and then you rank order them in that respect. So let's say the three ones which basically take away the most of your experience that you then enjoy when you're indulging are the most potent ones then, because they mean that they give you the most. Because if you take them away, you take away the most. So that means that they give you the most. Yeah. Once you've got that, you can move to the third thing. And the third part it's really complex and it's quite long term. The first two parts can take more or less time depending what kind of an individual you are. But this third part it's non-negotiable. It will take a long time because that's just the nature of it. There's a lot to figure out. But the first two things gives you an easing into the third part. So the third part is essentially about the meaning of the whole practice itself. So if going back, it's like first you figure out how does it look, the actual experience, to catch it. Then you get to understand what you get out of it. And the third part now is to figure out what the things you're getting actually mean in your life. And that can be a really hard question, but I can give you a sort of an example that should help you with this. What it means to you I think that an example, I'll give you an example from my own life. I think that would be the best. It's like I have a family. What it means to me to have a family? Well, a lot of things, but the most important thing in the matter meaning perspective, it's I am doing a lot. I am responsible for a lot of things, and like in a final analysis, let's say, if I was gone, there would be a difference. My family would struggle, something bad would happen. So that thing that means that I matter, because the things I do matter. Because if I wasn't there, it would be differently. So that's the meaning part of it. Why of the family in my life. So I matter. What I'm doing in this family, it matters. It gives me meaning. It gives me purpose to do. Why is it important? Because meaning is really important in life. The reasons you stay in this life, the reasons you go every day to work, to struggle, really matter, because they'll help you struggle through them. If you have really good reasons to struggle, you can accomplish a lot of things. That's why it's really important. You're putting a lot of resources, a lot of attention, you are attached to the whatever thing you're addicted to gravely. It means there's some sort of a big meaning behind it. That's your question. What is it? You now have a bit of a framework. You have a few things that you know that you get out of that experience. The part now is to think about, well, what are they feeling? What is it that you're getting out of them in the grand scheme of things? Maybe an example is like, maybe you're able to, to spend a fun and meaningful, engaging time with your friends, or maybe with strangers even, when you're drinking a bit. And without that, maybe you cannot at all. Or maybe you can feel at ease when you're doing something. Because when you're not doing that, you feel in constant anxiety or stress from maybe other responsibilities or other problems in your life. The core question is, what are you getting out of it? Once you have that, that's a really big portion done for solving the addiction. Afterwards, there's of course another big part of finding what will replace them, but that's another thing.